They're going to turn into crime. They're going to whack your grandma's head. They're going to break into your garage.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, good evening. How's everybody doing? Hi, Chris.
Oh, we're doing good.
You had quite a day today.
I had quite a day today. Yes, we were pulling air seeders today, and the inevitable happened. A hydraulic connection point on the wing of the air seeder I was pulling busted clearly off, and the wing of the air seeder folded out onto the highway. So thankfully, it happened at the right time, and it was something that was completely unpreventable, and we had help right away. And if anybody's seen Big Red sitting on the side of the highway in Swift-Current, Saskatchewan today, well, that's what we happened. We got her back to the yard safe, and yeah, early end to a long, productive day that I thought I had. So
Yes, wow. Pretty exciting life you're leading for somebody on house arrest.
as long as I have a schedule printed, I am good to go. And I feel bad for my probation officer emailing in my last, requests and changes in my deadlines, and it's been quite the last couple of weeks. But we're getting there. It's just.
Yeah.
But I could be sitting here. We could be sitting home, and I feel, it is what it is. So, how are you making out under your house arrest? Your conditions are a lot worse.
Good. Yeah, well, I had my third meeting with my probation officer today, which is still really funny to say that. Anyways, I quite like her. She's nice enough. I think she's just trying to do her job. It's my situation seems to be a little bit different than yours, which is very odd. I think we talked a little bit about this before, that you are allowed leisure time, and I'm only allowed necessities of lifetime, and which is fine. Maybe your probation officer likes you better than mine. Hey guys, we got some. Sorry, I just want to read that. Ottawa, Alberta Vincent. Hi, Ottawa. He's coming from Ottawa, Canada. We just had some more from us.
I'll try and answer some questions as we go here. But Dean, it was actually an old case drill today, and we kind of feared when we left the yard today that it was going to be a trouble trying to make it. It's an old one. So I see Tamara's frozen. I'm hoping you can hear me there, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Good evening, everyone. Taber, Alberta, Saskatoon, look at that. British Columbia's in the house. Ontario, nice. Okay, so we have just about 500 people all in here. We can hear you. Tamara's having a little bit of technical issues, so she just bounced out. Looks like it's a Chris show for many. You'll have to bear with me and my chatting here. You see some good people in here. Tamara will be back shortly.
Okay.
There she is.
Wouldn't you know it? The week after we started doing this show, I started having problems with my computer, so hopefully it's going to hang on for a little while. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But you can keep going, so that's good.
Well, we don't have to talk about it, I guess. It's better if we talk together.
Yes, that's right. Anyways, where was I? Yes, thank you all for joining us tonight on House Arrest. We're going to have Tom and Danny here later on. We're going to be basically discussing our origin stories, why we got involved, and how we all met. Hi, Jerry. Somebody from Innisfail, Quebec. Oh, I had my second French lesson today.
Oh, how's that going?
Yeah, it's going awesome. I have a really great instructor. I'm really, really pumped about it. So, a couple things we wanted to just start off with here. I just wanted to say a big thank you to our good friend Ruby, who has taken on the big job of moderating our chats. I know there were some issues last week. Also, just want you guys to know that we have adopted a zero tolerance policy here. I'm all about free speech, but I'm also, if you want to be rude and obnoxious and aggressive, then you can speak freely somewhere else. So we're going to have a zero tolerance policy. That's one thing we've always tried to do, is to maintain respect and our integrity at all times, and we're going to ask the same of you. So she's got a big job. We definitely welcome lots of dialogue. We just want to do.
Bye-bye. Get him, Joker. Oh my boys, that guy, he's waiting for Iron Banner tomorrow in the dungeon. Yo, don't fire it up, bitch. Get off me, bitch. I should have left the stream on 10 hours ago. Fuck, man, why did I stop? Oh well. Grind like a bitch. Apply for a job like a bitch. Penniless bitch. I'm a penniless bitch. Penniless beach. So they got back into Hong Kong. Yo. Get them bitches. Yo. Yo. Oh, they're on B, man. They're practicing for Banner. These guys are so OP. Look at these guys eat, breathe, and sleep Iron Banner. He's OP. Yeah. It's my dungeon. Yo. Come on, bitch. Yeah, get fucked, man. Get fucked. Oh. Look at this guy, fucking. I'm already at rank 62, man. It's cold. Oh. Is Zachary on right now? Yeah, he's on, man. The Sassy Girl, though. She's so funny. I like Sassy Girl. She's funny. The Donnie's coming too. Yo. Get this bitch. Get this bitch. Yo, kill some bitch. Whee! Yeah. Fuck, man. I got a good sniper now, finally. Finally, good primary. Oh, I like this primary. It's snappy. This is a snappy primary sniper. They're on me. Fucking off edge. Look at this guy. Yo, I'll see. I got Superman. Wait. It's super active. Super go active, no problem. I'm so excited for tomorrow. New dungeon and Iron Banner. First Iron Banner ever. We get bygones. Boom. Wee. 5, 6, and 7. Wee. Oh, they get the other one. I did. Yo. Oh. on it. Yo, fuck. Yo, look at Nick, man. This guy's a good Spectral Blade Hunter. Fuck yeah, man. Come on, man. Oh! Yo, rear toe, the Daybreak. It's cool. I'll see. You're a good Dawnblader. Fuck, man. You'll see. Hey, hold on. Boom! And boom! Oh! Almost got him. Damn. Yeah. Who's on right now? Oh, look what Twitch streamer just logged in. Oh. Yeah. Get him, Dragon Storm. Yo. Yes. Oh no. He almost got him with that thing, fucking. GG. Let's get it. Fucking right, bitch. Yo. What's my Thunderbolt kind of set? Oh, 4% fucking bitch. How'd I do? Let's see. I'm number fucking. Oh, I don't know how I did. 1.85. Oh, fuck yeah, bitch. Hey, more. Yeah. Look at this sniper I got. Accurized rounds, loaded barrel, triple tap, snapshot, and ooh, actually, I'm gonna put that one on Connect Trimmer. Yo. Finally got a good primary sniper. Fuck yeah, and a good secondary. Boom, boom, boom. This one, and this one. Look at that. What's up, stream? Anybody watching? Nobody? Oh. Homeless Gamer's on right now. Oh, Homeless Gamer. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Homeless Gamer. Look at my covers. I stack everything, some bitch. Hey. I got a something. What is this one? That one's not good, man. What the fuck, man? Yo, Trella's on. Yo, what's good? What's good? I love Trella. Fuck, this guy's funny. Which one now? Oh, this map is good map. Yo. It's a good map. See zombies on Skilltron. What are you guys doing? Are you guys doing a raid or what are you doing? Comp? You guys doing comp, man? Are you doing dungeon? You get it ready for tomorrow. Fuck yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. You're getting ready for tomorrow, man. Dungeon and fucking banner. Yeah, fuck yeah. Fucking fire, man. Boom. Dungeon and Iron Banner and then the Dawning. Yo. I've got no Destiny. Did I kill him? Yeah, I did. Wee. I two-tapped you, boy. What the fuck, man? It's good. Casanova. Oh. on, man. Are you freaking crazy, man? I got you. I got him. Yo, look at him, man. Get out there, man. Got two top. Wee. There you go. Oh, almost sniped you, boy. Almost took your head off. Oh. Small, give my wrist. No. Why'd you get my wrist? You need my raise. You got to get my raise. Get my raise, please. Poof. Bye, you're dead, boy. That's how you play competitive. You understand? Yes, good. That's good. Scooty. Toy. Oh, man. Casanova, get him. Oh. I'll get his rose. Nope, actually, nah, you got it. Oh, yeah, you got me with the Cincia. Cincia. Oh, yeah. Hey, bud. Come on, boy. Hey. Yo. Look at this guy. Poof. Yo. Warlock is OP. Fucking. He's so OP. Look at this. Like, gonna go boom, boom, boom. Where's he go? Where's he? Oh. Oh. The vault save. This guy is a good fucking guy, man. How do you use the range on him with the bug save, man? That's a good one. Let's see. Fuck, man. Almost. I love this sniper rifle. As a primary, fucking, you got snapshot, Epenimag, fluid barrel, accurize, triple tap, air and brake. Fuck yeah, man. Compared to the door, it's good. But it's something better. It's cool. Oh, and I love my Rito tail. He's so good. Yeah. All right. Nah. Please don't tell me he's using that other gun. Oh no, he ain't using it. No, he's using the outside. Oh, he's out. He's out. Yo, I got him. I'm gonna climb his plane calm, man. You guys fucking fun, man. Yo. It's good. You guys practicing. You gotta practice. You gotta fun. You practice. It's cool. Oh. Mirror Muggle. Another good SMG. I like that SMG. It's good. Yeah, Mirror Muggle's a good SMG. That's a very good SMG. Nice. Do a zombie. Give a wrist. Thank you. Push up, side. Ooh, no. Back up. Back up. Oh, almost got him. How did he get me from there? I don't know. Get his wrist. Poisonous fire. Oh no, really. If I can, I try my best. Oh, Here you go. Oh, rip. He's getting res. He's getting res off him. Nice kill, Smolchy. That's cool. Let's see. And go to A. Let's see. Almost. I'll take your head off. Can I get that over, please? Thank you very much. Guess it was. Left side, left side, left side. No, get back, get back, get back. Get back, get back. Hold back, hold back, hold back, hold back. Get back. Cautious, cautious. No, 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 come back, come back, come. Fire. Almost. Oh, it's so close. The cap C? Yep. Got him. You get him? No! Oh, fuck! So close. Coming out in the fuck, man. The song playing. Bitch, man. Oh, I got you. I got you. I got the song playing guy. That's another. Get out of there. Someone, get out there. Oh, GG though. That's a good game. King of the Hill. Ooh. Hey, it was good. That was good. How I killed him like this? No. Yo, zombie, what you guys doing? You do a dungeon? Oh, why you guys doing by me, man? Oh. Oh. You know, man, why you invite me? Oh, that's all good. I still love you, but I see my clients. Yeah. You guys don't want to invite me no more. Don't come. Bye. Hmm? Welcome. I still love you, my clanmates. Yeah. Still like my clanmates.
It's this connection, you know, between Canada and US. But, you know, Canada's Canada. We watch everybody else. I think Canadians are very worldly. I think they pay attention to what's going on outside of the borders.
Ava is all about performance on ice. That's why she always pre-schedules her tire swap with the experts at her Toyota dealer's tire center, giving Ava the edge she needs in the rink and on wintry roads.
the word of God and spoke the truth.
I'm afraid of people. We got Lindsay Butler here, and she's hanging out with us, and she's done some music, and I think maybe you've heard some of her music. Did you actually get a chance to hear her live in Coots when you guys were down there?
I actually didn't get to hear her live. She was down at the border, and I was at the saloon at the time. But I have met Lindsay, and I have heard a lot of her music, and she's a wonderful human being.
Well, we did what we could to bring you some live music as you're driving back home tonight. So I hope you don't mind. Lindsay would like to play a song for you.
Absolutely.
All right, I would say that this is my favorite F word song. It's titled.
Oh, damn. Oh, you got me. What the fuck you give me there? From there. Yo. I got him from there. Oh man. A beast to find. Oh. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Yes, I got him. No. No, really. What? Scatter signal. Oh yeah. Damn, man. It's a beat. Did you give me a game with it? Hey. Oh, for the glimmer boost. Yeah. No. Oi. Oh. Yes. No, he got me. GG's. We. Yeah.
would have so much nonsense.
And if you want to see my social media, you can go right ahead. I'll give you 5 years ahead, and you'll see that I've been standing up against corruption. And if that's bad,
I
I'm
just
not.
want to make sure it isn't something crazy to the point, I guess, right?
And we'll find
It is what it is. We're coming into a new world, basically, that we are all kind of having to melt to.
What was that, James Q? 3.5 feet this morning and another 2 feet or so. What?
Oh my!
Yeah,
Please keep it.
That's insane.
Please keep that.
Are you talking about 3.5 inches?
The population
3.5 feet is a lot.
Wait,
It's not
James, where are you again?
So
Where are you located again? Where you got that much snow?
Hold on, I think James Q is in Ontario.
Thank you so much.
I'm just trying to remember.
Ontario that got that much? Oh,
But I can't remember where in Ontario, if I'm correct.
First of all, I have to say that your pastor is weird. You have to be in a good way to have Art Pulaski preach. He is risking everything. Also, it's a great privilege to be here in this place because when I enter an old building like this one, I can literally, physically, and spiritually feel the prayers of the thousands of people that worship God before us. Those that are no longer with us, but we're here, faithful, every week praying for this land, praying for God's perfect will on this side of eternity. And I shared with someone today that I don't really get it. I don't really understand the modern idea of the mall church. It's cold. It's so those all churches. So I think we have fallen very far from the original idea, and that's why when the test came, not many passed the test. Because in order to pass the test, you have to be rooted, grounded. Your foundation has to be built on the truth, not on half truth. And I think that's the problem. Everything right now in our West is shallow. Shallow Christianity, fast food Christianity, shallow friendships, marriages. In Canada, quite often is if the pastor looks the wrong way or if the pastor is not kissing the bones of the congregants enough, they will come and say, I'm out of here. Because there is 500 other churches that we can join, and all of them are juggling beautifully. All of them are entertaining people beautifully. But not many are actually preaching the whole truth. Because you see, you have to understand, when Satan came to Jesus, he was preaching the truth, and yet it was a lie. So you can give people the truth, but if you only are giving them half the truth, it's still a lie. And I think that's why we experience what we experience. Don't feel bad. I always mess up my story. I was not charged 120 times, but 360 times. So don't feel bad. I know the numbers are crazy even for my lawyers. I think I'm the only human being that has been charged so many times for doing good. I was charged for inciting people to come to church. Duh. That's what I do for a living. I incite people to come to church. By the way, if you're in Calgary area, I want to incite you again, come and join us. I was charged for officiating an illegal gathering, participating in illegal gathering. I was criminally charged for not wearing a muzzle. And I told them, I'm nobody's dog. My dog would not take a muzzle. It would bite you. You want the humans to wear one? You're kidding me? And for what? A pathogen that's 1,000 times smaller than the bacteria, that stupid pumpers on your face is not going to stop it? And if you don't believe me, listen. And again, I admit I'm weird. I am so weird. I am one of those few pastors that actually read the Bible. And I actually believe the Bible. And I actually teach the Bible. I don't know these days. But It's true. I have 3 children. And here's what I learned from my children is when a disaster, a biological attack happened on our home because of one of my children, and my wife was away. And the first thing I would do when, of course, I was attacked with the smell and the whole thing, when our babies were small, I would first call my wife. I don't know about you, but that was my first reaction. So, perspiration. I would call my wife and say, honey, where are you? And if a miracle happened, she says, I'm about half an hour away, I said, we shall be saved. We will live. If a disaster happened, she was away, she would say, I'm coming in 2 hours. I would look at my kid and I would say, we will be dead. By the time she comes, we will not make it. We will not make it. So I was forced against my will, against every senses that a man has, I was forced to deal with the situation. It was a disaster. I prefer cops already than dealing with that biological attack. But I had to do it because I love my children. So I would say, honey, the daddy has to change your pampers because we're going to die very soon. And I would approach the kid, and instead of running towards me, the kids would always run away from me. So now they're running around the table, and I have to actually chase a biological weapon out of my free will. And it's like, this is disaster. This is like, I want to run opposite direction. But eventually I would catch up with the kids, and I had to do what I had to do to clean it. And it was an ordeal, believe me. And I was praying through the whole thing that we would survive this. And when it was done and you change and you put the new thing and powder and the kids smell so beautiful and you just want to eat it. And God spoke to me. And he says, that's you. When you poop, instead of running towards me, you run away from me. When you sit, don't run away from me because I want to change your pampers. I want to fix you. I want to clean you. When you mess things up, don't run away. Run towards me. So God is a good God, but that lesson taught me, and this happened, I got 3 children, and every single time it happened to me. And I needed a lot of encouragement, a lot of prayers during that time. And my wife was laughing. I think she enjoyed my misery. I think she loved it. I think she did it on purpose. And but I learned something that a stupid thing, a pampers on your face is not going to fix your problems. It's not going to stop the smell. And yet the government, those lying devils from the pit of hell, were trying to tell us that this piece of nothing on your face is going to stop a pathogen that was 1,000 times smaller than the bacteria. Of course, at the very beginning, I knew right away, because God prepared me for what's coming, that this whole thing is a big fat lie. It was an experiment. It was a social experiment, which still continues to this day. Don't kid yourself, they're not done with you. There is a pause, but they're not done with you. And believe me, I'm a Polish American like rock in hell, under propaganda, behind the Iron Curtain. I'm telling you that we have seen this movie before. It's nothing new. The Bible says nothing is new under the sun. What it was, it will be. Again, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. I was charged over 360 times, over 120 court cases. I'm still in court. And the fight continues, and the enemy still hates me. And here's the problem. If the enemy loves you, you got a problem. If the devil is comfortable around you, you got a problem. Because my hobby, and I know I'm weird, I get it. My hobby is to give the devil a bloody nose every single day. That's just what I do in free time as a hobby. We have to be vigilant, we have to be truthful, we have to be black and white. You see, the Bible is not shadows. It's not subject to interpretation. The truth is the truth. And your wishful intentions and your nice works are not going to set the captives free. The Bible says the truth will set the captives free. So from the very beginning to the very end, The whole idea was and will be always about the same thing. Did God really say that? You see, the government is coming and saying, you shall not gather. But for me, it was a very easy fix, because the Bible says, do not forsake the gatherings of the saints. Full stop. That's it. This is not a subject to interpretation. Do not forsake the gathering of the saints. So when the government said we cannot gather, I added extra days. When the government said you have to wear a muzzle, I was live streaming, showing wonderful people singing and listening and hugging each other. When the government said we are not allowed to worship, remember that? Canadian government outlawed worship. Singing was prohibited by law. I went to our worship team and they said, I want extra songs. Every single time you're singing, I want you to add 2, 3, 4 songs. And I was live streaming. But the Canadian government decided in their gracious wisdom to cancel Christmas, went on television, and we just had Halloween. You gotta remember, for Halloween, the same people went on television and they said, kids, have a wonderful and safe Halloween. A few weeks later, they said, we have to regret, but we're canceling Christmas. Seriously? So I went on television too, why not? And I said, who do you think you people are, you uncircumcised Philistines? That you should defy the armies of the living God? You think you're some kind of a Grinches? You're canceling Christmas. I'm not canceling you. In the name of Jesus, we don't need you people. We don't need government. We don't need your devils in government because you're not serving the people. We would be better off if the whole government would stop existing. You know, I pray for rapture of the wicked. The one day you wake up and they're all gone. Would that not be wonderful? I am all cheering for rapture. God, take them away. One day He will. One day there will be no more. You will look for the wicked, but you will not be able to find him. So I went on television and I invited people to come to our church for the Christmas celebration. And I thought few people will show up, but thousands came. And you gotta remember, this is the biggest lockdowns. The city was a ghost town. No one was allowed to come. During that time, the government said, Chief of Police comes on television and said, I'm going to send our police officers to look if there are extra cars in the driveway. And if you have a brother for coffee, we'll break the doors and we'll arrest you. So what I did, I invited my family, all of them. I invited my friends for dinner. I took a picture and I sent it to the devils and they said, come and get me. Come and get me. So they did. They were listening to my invitation and eventually I got picked up by FBI. I was arrested by Canada's version of FBI. I was arrested by every force that there is. They love me. Those people adore me. They have been following me, helicopters, undercover. My house was staked by undercover police. Everywhere I would go, there were agents of the government sitting and worshipping with me. It was so awesome because we could recognize them. I was arrested by every force in the land, undercover police, FBI. I was arrested by detectives, SWAT team, anti-terrorists, everyone, the uniformed Calgary police. And only once they sent soldiers, but they didn't arrest me. I was able to come out of that pickle. And people came. Because during that time, people were hungry for someone, anyone. I remember many years ago, I said, God, if I was you, I would not choose Art Palacio. I would choose someone smarter, more educated, with more diplomas, and a better English. And he said, I've heard that from Moses. And he was not impressed with what Moses was saying. And they said, a donkey would do a better job than me. And he says, sure, then you can be my donkey. So I'm officially, my title in heaven is Donkey of the Lord. So I'm okay with that. I call myself a lion. I like that better. Let's open our Bibles to Revelations 3:1-6. And while you're doing this, I'll finish the story of the festival that we did in December of 2020 during the biggest lockdowns. It was Christmas celebration, and we wanted to honor God, and every year we do festivals for the poor, and we had hundreds of gifts for the homeless, and that's actually what we do. I feed the homeless since 2009. So that's a long time, 26 years now. We're taking care of the homeless. That's our main ministry. 3 times a week we feed the poor, and then I pastor on our church as well, just like this one. So hundreds of people came, homeless, thousands of others joined, and I think I broke some kind of a record again. And this is a theme in my life. I think I am always breaking records. I have become the first Canadian ever to be charged with criminal offense for publicly reading Bible. No amplification in the public park. I faced a year of imprisonment. I was the first one to be charged with terrorism, convicted of terrorism for a sermon to hurting Canadians. During my sermon, I told them to stand up, stand for God and state human rights, but do it peacefully. No guns, no swords. This is not a physical, violent uprising. This is a peaceful revolution. Solidarity style that I witnessed growing up behind the Iron Curtain. I said, there's more of us than that. They don't have enough cops to arrest us all. Give me enough Canadians and I will give you back your prosperity and your freedom. Just give me enough people. No, just give me pastors. If only the pastors did what they so wonderfully preach every week, this whole thing would never happen. If the law enforcement agents, if only them, we have about 3,000 police officers, if only the 3,000 people out of 1.4 million Calgarians would refuse to break the law, this whole thing would never happen. But it's still happening. It's still happening. Christmas celebration, I think I brought the record. I had over 120 police officers, 54 police cars, anti-terrorists, SWAT team, chief of police, 20 cops on bicycles, and who knows how many undercover. I felt like I was blue was everywhere following this. And we did, according to the chief of police, I did the unthinkable. Because of me, the whole city of Calgary is going to collapse, everyone will die. I'm a grandpa killer, and all those things, because I did the unthinkable. I hired carolers. And we were singing our hearts out, and it was wonderful and peaceful. And I think what enraged them also was that I served the homeless AAA Alberta steak. The saliva was coming down, so they look at this amazing meal, and I think that's why they hated me so much. And I offered them, come, officers, you're welcome to participate.
That Lobster does that much damage? What the fuck?
And it was Christmas. And they came bearing gifts.
That's fucking crazy, man. That's
common tickets. It took me 2 years to fight in a court, but I won.
How does that do that much damage?
Revelations 3:1-6. To the angel messenger of church in Sardis, write, and you can easily start
this fucking Lobster is unreal, fuck man.
To the angel messenger of the church in the West, right?
What?
These are the words of him who holds the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know your deeds. I know your works. You have a reputation. You have a name of being alive. But you are dead. My friends, we failed in the past as a global church, especially the West. We failed in the past because we didn't want to pay the price. You see, I was renting a building from a friend of mine, a pastor.
I don't have time to read it. It's so
there was, I thought, a courageous man, and
I want to read this book. I don't have time to read 500 pages of a good book.
Says, if
I had time to read 500 pages of Pastor's Arts book, I would read it one day.
Received a phone call from the city of Calgary, and they threatened me. And I said, what did they say? They're going to chop your head off. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't have time.
They said they're going to give me a ticket. That means you don't have.
How many pages is it? 600
I have over
pages.
360 citations, and you're telling me you don't have even one? What's wrong with you? Art, you don't understand. I have to look up for my reputation, and I cannot afford to get a ticket. They said, how much is the ticket? $10,000. I said, I have tickets worth $10,000. and you're afraid of a $10,000 ticket, you know what? Let's make a deal. I'll fight this ticket with you. I'll pay for the lawyers. that I have to do. God will greatly honor you for this. He went all the way to the cross, and it's not easy, believe me. Being locked in solitary confinement, they kept me in mental cages. I was kept in mental cages. You know, I'm a hardcore criminal now. So I spent time with murderers, human traffickers, drug dealers, thieves, gangsters, and they said to me they have never seen ever anyone being treated in a horrible way that they treated. They have never seen a man being kept in mental cages until I showed up. I was in solitary confinement and I was taken every night to a concrete cell, no water, no washroom. Eventually, I was so popular in prison that everywhere I showed up, the prisoners were banging on the door, yelling, "Free Pastor Art! Free Pastor Art!" I felt like the guy from Russell Crowe from Gladiator, you know, like General. It was like, "Free Pastor Art! Woo! Free Pastor Art!" I didn't look like it. Because they kept us in the coverall that was blue, and we had pink slippers. Have you ever seen a general dress like that? It was pathetic. I actually thought that I am a servant. Because there was blue everywhere. We looked crazy. But they would take me from one cell to another, from one place to another, and the inmates were recognizing me right away. And when I was in solitary, they were coming to my door, and I was preaching the gospel. I was leading them to Christ. And I don't know, I think everything is in a book, by the way. If you're interested in a story, you can read the whole background story, why I call them those nice officers Nazis, and all those different things, what led to it, and prison, every day what happened. It's Amazon.com. Amazon.com, lions do not bow. And if you don't like Amazon, after I can give you the link, direct link to our publisher, and they will send you a copy. But everywhere I went, I was recognized, and the people were coming to me. And I think it was 3 weeks. I was denied access to my lawyers. I was treated stripped naked in front of men and women multiple times. And it was all fun, threatened. 5 inmates testified to my lawyers that the guards were giving them incentives to murder me in prison. My house was lit on fire. Our church was lit on fire. They unscrewed tires in our pickup truck. I was physically attacked when I was outside by Antifa. I had death penalty by Antifa. All kinds of things happened. And so the threat was very serious. But the inmates said to the guards, anything happens to this man, you're dead. So they were scared. And if you're a hardcore criminal like me, you know that those people are dangerous. So they did not dare to beat me up or do other things. And I think it was 21 days or something like this, the inmates signed a petition to the director of prison. I spent time in the most dangerous, awful, worst prison in Canada. Actually, it's the 3rd worst prison in the West. Right after the Texas.
Oh, snow coming Tuesday. Oh, fuck
that is
off.
worse than the one that I was, and Black
When it's going to
Swan.
be the fucking Iron Banner.
Calgary Remand Center is the 3rd worst prison. They treat us like animals. It's unbelievable what I have seen. And by the way, have you watched the Hollywood movies that the inmates smuggle drugs to prison? In Canada, it's not like this. It's the guards and the nurses that bring drugs to the inmates twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. We were offered cocaine, fentanyl, and other drugs twice a day. So the inmates are completely wiped out, and they want the revolving door. It's a big, fat, multi-billion-dollar business. It's privately owned, so the drugs are coming freely, are flowing in and out of prison, no problem. The guards and the nurses are doing this. And by the way, all of that is in the book. So they sent a petition to the director, and they said, if you don't let this man out, you're going to have a riot. So the next day I was let out, and guess what I did? I did the very thing I was locked for. Because I said, hey, what are you going to do to me? Lock me up? So I started church services and preaching. And it was so amazing. I think I broke another record. I had every inmate in my unit attending the church services. I had Muslims coming to me and says, Pastor, we know God is with you and we cannot sleep. Can you cast the demons out of our soul? And if you know anything about prison, you're not allowed to enter another, inmate's cell. But I said, who cares?
Unless you Pastor Art.
Arrest me? So I would go in, cast out demons, pray with them, I led them to the Lord. God showed up with power. People were healed. I had hardcore criminals. If you would see them in the back of the alley, you run the opposite direction. Slashed, tattoos, they murdered. I led gun for hire to the Lord. And this one guy comes and he cries and he says, Pastor, you have restored humanity in my heart. And at the same time, for every day I was imprisoned, my wife, my brother David, my family in the church were doing church services outside the prison. And they were doing Jericho marches around. Has never been done in the history of Canadian jail. Has never been done. It's a prohibited area. You're not allowed to enter. They said, who cares? We will spend the time with art inside. If we get arrested, we get to have a revival. So they brought their children, family, church, truckers came with their big rig, and they were marching around, blowing shofars, Canadian flag, marching around, and I could see them. It was awesome. And the jailers would come to my cells and tell them to stop, tell them to stop. I said, obviously it's working. No, it's working. Good. Boom, in a home, on concrete. So that was my price. I had to pay for not telling them to stop. Also, I had a right, I would be kept sometimes 26 hours in solitary confinement, then I would be allowed the shower and a phone call. So I would use the phone call to do my political statements, and my wife would take the phone and put with a microphone. She rented 4 huge speakers, and the whole jail was going like this, and the prisoners were dancing, and it was like, whoo! I always knew what song they were singing. Jesus loves me. This, I know. The whole jail was going crazy. And sometimes, by a miracle of God, when I phoned, someone messed up the timing, and I would be able to preach to the protesters outside from prison. And 3 times or 4 times it happened that the timing was so perfect that I was able to do a sermon. Me, Michael, only had 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but I was able to talk to the church from prison during our church services. It was incredible, just incredible how God was orchestrating this whole thing. So, what led to it? Well, I was arrested multiple times for just doing my job. I was arrested for feeding the homeless. In Canada, you're not allowed to feed the poor unless you have a special permission from the government. You're not allowed to distribute printed materials. Bibles are prohibited by law. You cannot give them away unless you have a special permission. Giving free goods and services, distribution of printed material is prohibited by law unless you have a permit. Preaching is prohibited. Jesus is offensive. I mean, I was charged with every possible crime you can think of, and I was arrested multiple times. But the biggest arrest was after the Get Out video. The Get Out video, they entered the building illegally, they were trespassing, and during that time, it was Passover, and I was preparing the sermon, and the title of the sermon was, Pharaoh, let my people go. So you can imagine, I was pumped with this sermon in my heart, so when those devils showed up, I just don't want to talk to you, get out. You Nazis, get out, you Gestapo. And eventually they go, and I recorded it because I always recorded every interaction with the authorities because they lied. They always lie. They are such a pathological liars. Don't think that because he wears a bar, he wears a badge, he's a good man. Actually, I would say to you, the majority of them are no longer good people. They are psychopaths. And there are still good cops. I'm still friends with some good cops. Not many, though. So they're liars, and they have no problem to manufacture evidence and just to get you. So I record every interaction. I recorded it and I put it on social media, and I forgot about it. And usually my cell phone is muted, so I don't look at it during the sermons. And then after I pray for people, and after I put it on, it was like thousands of requests for interviews, Fox News, everywhere from around the world. And I said to them, well, what have I done? I didn't know what I did. They said, what have I done that they want to talk to me? Because they hate me, the media hates me. And then, of course, later on, I found out that the video was watched over 1 billion times. It was the #1 video during the Passover weekend on Earth. Can you believe it? And for a year, I was interviewed 10, 12, 50 times a day, and apparently I embarrassed the Canadian government, so they came with a vengeance, and I was arrested with my brother David in the middle of the highway by anti-terrorists. And I don't know why my brother David was arrested with me already 12 times. My son Nathaniel was arrested 10 times for testifying before the European Parliament about what Canada is doing to pastors. But my brother David, it's like the cops are spending so much time in coffee shops, and they are used to, one price but 2 products, 2 for 1. And I think that's what they were doing to me. Well, we can get 2 for the price of 1. And we always were picked up together and at that time we spent 3 days and 2 nights on concrete. Every half hour police would come, bang on the door, lights so bright you couldn't sleep. It was a very interesting time. We were charged with contempt of court, which has a minimum of half a year of imprisonment. And of course they lied, they fight, and I was given by the Canadian government court order that was saying that every time I speak to another human being, I have to recite a government-approved script about vaccines and masks and COVID. So I grabbed the microphone, I'm weird. I grabbed the microphone and I said, Judge, I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening. I'll never ever obey your order. I will never obey your order because I am a preacher of truth and you tell me to lie and I refuse. So if you want to arrest me, I'm not running, I'm not hiding. My brother David is a little bit less polished than me. We're all polished. And to shine for Jesus, you have to be polished. But he's less polished than me. He grabs the phone, the microphone and says, Judge, I hope you're listening to me. You can take your order and you can shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Live stream, media everywhere. And I look at him, so I think he just finished us off. I don't think we can come out of this alive. But they did not arrest us that day. They arrested us later, but too much media attention. We got arrested in the middle of the highway multiple times, in the middle of the snow. So the last thing was the truck convoy. Have you remember truck convoy, the Freedom Convoy? Well, at that time I was called Canada's pastor. We started with 8 people. And we grew, before I got arrested, we had 20,000 people on the streets of Calgary every single week. I did rallies, I did Supreme Court protests, I traveled all around Canada. I was in Ottawa, that's the capital, did another church service there, and I was all over the place, and they called me Canada's pastor. So when the truckers started to roll, they asked me to do a series of church services for the truckers. So we raised money for them, we raised food. My wife with the volunteers cooked for them, and I did church services. And they went to Ottawa, and I went to Coutts. Coutts is a border, point of entry between Montana and Alberta. The farmers ruled at that time. And they called me and they said, Pastor, we have police officers dressed in black, like Gestapo, pointing machine guns at our children playing street hockey. Can you come and cheer us up because it's very depressing here. So I took my worshiper, I took my son, food, speakers, and I did a number of church services for them to cheer them up. And what did I do? Well, I did the weird things. We had Lord's Supper, we were singing hymns, the dangerous thing. We prayed for people, and I gave a short messages. During those messages, I told them to stand for God and state human rights, to do it for children, to do it solidarity style. I told them this is our last Alamo. If it comes to freedom, if this goes down, that's it. There's no more free Canada. And apparently it was pretty good. I don't like that sermon. But apparently it was the best sermon they ever heard, and the government agreed. So they charged me with terrorism for that sermon. So I went back home and I did other rallies, 20,000 people again, roaring, marching through downtown, another protest. And Tuesday morning, I have always been involved in political realm. I'm a leader of a political party, believe it or not. And I would take a few of my friends, politicians, high-up politicians, and I was on the way with another convoy to Quds. And I stepped out of my house, and I didn't know that they were stalking my house for a long time. They really loved me. And they wanted to keep an eye on me, and they blocked the street. I'm telling you, this was a great takedown of Canada's own Al Capone. Everyone was there. RCMP, which is FBI, there was detectives, there were Calgary police uniform, undercover, SWAT, anti-terrorist gang unit, whatever. They brought cameras. It was functional. I was interrogated by FBI for hours and hours and hours, and then I ended up in prison. When I was in prison, I had an offer, and I had multiple offers. I was offered $2 million to shut up by the Canadian government. I was offered a guaranteed seat at the legislature if I shut up. I was offered a government job, $250,000 a year, and I said, you don't understand a man like me, because you're all whores. You're a whore of Babylon, so you don't understand someone that is not. You think everyone is for sale. But listen, Art Balowski and his family is not for sale because we have been already bought by the precious blood of Jesus. You cannot sell. You cannot sell what you do not own. When you say yes to Jesus, you're giving yourself to Him. You're His. I'm His. So what is to me? If they put $1 billion on the table, it means absolutely nothing. And don't get me wrong, I'm entangled with legal. I'm selling books to raise money for lawyers, which is humbling. Standing in front of the people is like $30. Can you chip $30? Because the lawyers are killing us with the legal fees. I have an entire law firm hired. So we need the funds, but you see, God knows what we need, and we do not have to sell ourselves like prostitutes for a bowl of soup like Esau, or for a silver coin like Judas Iscariot. God knows what we need. The only thing He wants us to do is preach the truth, and I will touch the hearts. And if He chooses not to touch the hearts, so be it. That maybe means I have to go through a suffering. Maybe I have to go deeper and cry louder for God's mercy. But we have become whores of Babylon, and the politicians are doing this all the time. They go to bed with this organization, that organization, whoever prays the most. I said, I'm not that way. You don't understand a man like me. So after that, they tried to bribe me for 10 months. Eventually, I was released. I was kidnapped by sheriffs from Calgary because I was so popular. I was taken to Edmonton, hundreds of kilometers away, and I was placed in MaxPot. MaxPot is a prison for the most dangerous terrorists in London. And I was so dangerous that I received a letter, it's in my book, that they can keep me indefinitely. I can spend the rest of my life in the hole, freezing conditions. Like this, freezing. Minus 28 outside, and you can't sleep, you can't function. So I was let up for 30 minutes, I took a shower, I called my wife, and I said my goodbyes. I said, I don't think I'm coming home. I think they're going to murder me here. They're going to say, we have this problem in Canada that political dissidents are committing suicide themselves all the time. And I said, I think I'm going to commit suicide, or I'm going to have a heart attack or something, but they intend to murder me here. So I said, if I don't see you on this side of eternity, I'll see you when you get to me. And it scared her, because it was a very dangerous situation. I was guarded by 3 guys, and I was alone in the entire unit. A unit for 200 inmates, I was the only inmate, no ice. And I said, that's it, I'm not coming out alive from this. They were very hostile. And she called the lawyers. Lawyers sent a letter to the judge. Judge learns about what is going on. That scares the women in Edmonton, and I was taken by a number of high-ranking officers, and you won't believe where they put me. They put me in a psych ward without the evaluation of the doctors, without even the knowledge of Alberta Health Service. Completely illegal. Everything they've done to me was illegal. That's why we're suing them. We're suing all those devils. And I was told that they're going to destroy me financially. They will drag it for 10 years. I said, listen, tell your handlers that I am the most stubborn donkey that ever lived, and I will fight you until Jesus comes back, even if that means the rest of my life. Just tell them. So I was placed in a psych ward with a schizophrenic that murdered his brother with a machete, chopped him to pieces. I was so dangerous, according to the Canadian government, that I was not allowed to have a pen because I was so dangerous. So I walked into the schizophrenic room, and there are pens everywhere. And I'm thinking to myself, this is weird. He's a murderer. I just dared to give a sermon. Maybe the most dangerous sermon ever, but I was not a violent offender. And I said to him, well, apparently I'm so dangerous I cannot have a pen. He looked at me, well, you can have mine. So he gave me a pen so I could keep writing the book. I penned this book in prison because the inmates were giving me papers, forms to keep writing, and it scared the government so much that my book was confiscated by the Canadian government 3 times already. And they prohibited my book from coming to the border, so we had to print it with the friendly printers in Canada to distribute it to the Canadian people. So just for that, it's worth a read to find out what scared them so much. Well, I'll tell you what scared them. Because I'm naming those crooked judges, I'm naming corrupt prosecutors, that's like your district attorney, I'm naming the politicians. And I'm telling you the whole truth about the attempted briberies and what they said. And I got phone calls for 3 months from people that call themselves political fixers. Are you familiar with, I'm sure you are. Political fixers are the people that will do the dirty deeds for the politicians. If the politicians don't want to be seen, they send political fixers. And they fix problems, or they assassinate you, or you commit suicide, or things happen, you have an accident. They're political fixers, or they bribe you. So they said, since you refused the bribery, we want you to know that there was a meeting with Prime Minister Stephen Harper and the future Prime Minister Pierre Poilievre from the Conservative Party. Conservative Party is like your Rhinos here, and completely sold to the devil, a good name. And also ex-premier Jason Kenney, and I'm naming those people. I'm naming them because that's my only defense, is the truth that will set the cup. These 3 people deserve to know. And they said, if you don't withdraw yourself from the public life for 2 years, the judges bought and paid. The judge's name is Gordon Krinky, and he was ordered to send you to prison 12 and a half years, and you will not come out of prison. You will be assassinated in prison. That was going on for three months. You know what I did? The footage that this man was singing that song, that was done before I went to the court. And I said, if that's the end of the story of Martin Pawlowski, let it happen with a big bang. So I recited everything the government was telling me I am not allowed to talk about. During that sermon, he sang the songs, I entered it. During the proceedings, the court was packed, and the judge looked at me and says, I can send you to prison for 12 and a half years, and then he stops everything and says, I have to consult this with others. He leaves the room, comes back an hour later, and he says, you're free to go. To this day, we don't know why. We don't know why. I spent almost 2 years in prison and on house arrest, and I was ultimately found guilty on all the charges. I am a convicted terrorist. A month after my conviction and time in prison, the crown prosecutor withdrew the charge of terrorism. So they locked me up like an animal. They charged me with terrorism, and then they withdrew the charge after they took me through the ringer. And they kept mischief. Mischief is when the cops have nothing on you. Like there's nothing. They will charge you with mischief. Because there's really nothing to prove that, like a mischievous kid. So I was charged. But the problem is it's a criminal offense and it has 10 years of imprisonment attached to it. And the cops can say whatever. They want, let's open our Bible. I don't know what time it is. How much do I have? So, but I can keep going. You know, sometimes pastors would say, you know, just keep going. Unlimited time. I said, oh, poor soul. You have no idea what you're asking. My record is 23 hours straight. When I was in prison, I was locked with criminals, and I thought that apostles were giving 15-minute sermon and they would sit down and just relax. I didn't know that they preached all the time. I'll tell you, I'll prove it to you. Because when I finished my first sermon, I sat down and I was satisfied. I did my duty, I preached, and now I can relax until I will be released on bail. And then next door neighbors yelled, "Preacher, are you still there?" I said, "Yes, God did not open the doors yet for me." "Then preach it." So I had to preach over and over and over and over and over and over. And every time I shut up, someone else wanted me to preach. I was taken to 3 different cells to preach. I think the guards were having fun, and they would take me from one to another just to keep preaching. So that was 23 hours. Revelations 21:8. But the cowardly, I want you to pay attention to this, because this is the meat of the story. This is not Arnold Pawlowski speaking. This is not your pastor speaking. This is Jesus speaking. And I want you to pay attention. Because if you do not, you may not enter the kingdom of God. Revelations 21:8 says, but the cowardly, the unbelieving, and this is all before the vile, the murderers. This is before the murderers. The cowardly and unbelieving is before murderers. Sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, idolaters, and all liars. They will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. He's saying to you, if you do not believe, if you believe government more than you believe me, you're an unbelieving. You're spitting in my face. You're not trusting me. You're saying that Biden knows more than I. And by the way, Biden didn't know where he was most of the time. Coward. I understand fear. Believe me, I do understand fear. But God says that we must have faith and go through the fiery furnace if needs be, or lion's den. God showed me a revelation that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had a choice to bow before the golden image. We had a choice to bow or not to bow before the golden muzzle, as I call it. But they said no, and they said to the king, oh, know this, O great king. They said to Nebuchadnezzar, our God is perfectly able to get us out of this pickle, but if he chooses not to, that's okay. That's okay. But we will not bow. We will not bow. And off they went to the fiery furnace, but I want you to know that it was their enemies that perished first in the fire. Those that threw them in the fire died. And in the fire, how many of you would like to see Jesus face to face? Would you like to see Jesus face to face? Well, you got to go to the fire. He always shows up in the fire. That's where you can have the best heavenly coffee ever. Jesus shows up and has a coffee with them in the fire. And it's in the fire that they have an encounter with the living God that sets them free. Not outside of the fire. They were set free in the fire. Not outside the fire, in the fire. And in the fire, they had a testimony for the whole world to see. And in the fire, listen to me, in the fire, they received their promotion. Not outside the fire. What cowardly really means, do you know? I know, I do the unthinkable. I do this great evil, and sometimes I will Google things up. And this is what it means. Not at all brave and too eager to avoid danger, difficulty, or pain. Is that not what we experienced? We were so comfortable, we didn't want to even pay the price, the minimum price. Take the gluten-free donuts from the church and you're going to have a revolution worse than 1776. Disgracefully timid, afraid in a way that makes you unable listen, that makes you unable to do what is right or expected of you. Showing a shameful lack of courage, shamefully fearful. Someone that is afraid to tell the truth. Do you remember situations where you knew that you were supposed to tell the truth to that person and you just didn't want to offend them, you didn't want to cause trouble for yourself, you didn't want to, rock the boat? Not willing to pay the price, afraid and full of fear. Someone who is cowardly is easily frightened and so avoids doing dangerous or difficult things. So here's what God is saying to his church today. It is time to go after the villains. It is time to chase the wicked. The time has come for justice, and justice demands restitution. Because justice is not must submit their social media profiles in the face of the enemy. The giants once again has challenged the church, and we must say what David said in 1 Samuel 17:26. Who is this? Excuse me, Mr. Biden, who do you think you are? Obama, Clinton, Schwab, Soros, whatever the demon-possessed devil is out there, Governor Barrett, if you have a wicked one. Sir, excuse me, who do you think you are? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that should defy the armies of the living God? For every day, 365 times, every day you wake up in the morning and God says, fear not, do not be afraid. Joshua 1:3. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you, just as I promised to Moses. We have a promise from God. Verse 5, no man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous. For you shall cause these people to inherit the land that I swore to their fathers, to give them only. Do you want promises of God? Every single one of us received certain promises, right? God spoke to every one of us, either through the Bible or personal promises. We have promises. If you want them, only be strong and very courageous, being careful to do according to all the law that Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may have good success wherever you go. And yet, repeats this few times. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened. And do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. You know why I call the book Lions Do Not Bound? Because I was privileged to work in Africa. We started orphanages, we started medical clinics, and I preached in the places that they have never seen a white man, the most dangerous places on earth. We started churches in Kenya, by the way, in a city called Kisumu, where your ex-president Barack Hussein Obama was born. Just for your information. Because when I go over there, they are very, very glad that they have fooled stupid Americans by implementing this person as your president. And I don't want to even talk about you, First Lady, because it's an absolute shocker. Absolute shocker that a guy becomes your First Lady. It's just, I just don't get it. Maybe my capacity of my brain is too small. I just don't understand even that concept. Every time I go to crusade, a minister in Africa, I would always take 2-3 days just to enjoy God's creation in the savannah. And I was privileged to see lions hunt. I was privileged to see how they behave in the natural environment. And God speaks to me when I observe things, when I see things in nature. And as I was sitting over there, I saw lionesses coming and lions, and it was something out of this world. The way they walk, the majesty of those creatures, they know who they are. And I will never forget the experience that the birds even stopped chirping and the monkeys stopped playing.
Thanks to Freedom Mobile, Kate's not worried about her holiday budget, but now she's worried about decorating.
Flourished. They did really well. And they said a lot of the businesses said they hadn't profited so much in the last 2 years as they did.
This one can get fixed. Now, of course, if we appoint more judges, I would hope that they would be good ones, right? That's a separate issue. But we would get court rulings faster, I think, if we appointed more judges.
Yeah, Adam and I have spoken about this before, but that we have scarce judicial resources, and we do have a problem with how the Crown's office allocates those judicial resources, right? I mean, complain about the decision, but the fact that they're spending 45 days on a mischief trial, for you folks, is a decision that someone in the Crown's office made, and that's valuable judges, courtroom time that they spent on you guys. Did it need to take 45 days? I don't know. I don't know how it got up to 45 days because that's a lot of time. And
Roy, over 50.
Probably.
I think just over 50. Yeah.
To Mark's point, like it's 45 days now. Now there's appeals.
Yes.
I mean, we're looking at, by my estimation, I'm thinking 2027 is the likely, maybe March, maybe, February 2027 is the likely date of a hearing. And then what? And then there's a decision there at the Court of Appeal in Ontario. And where we go from probably the SEC.
How come you think of Myra is? Yo. Oh, the Mike. That's a good name. Like the name. I'm in. Come in. I have time to read all this stuff. Pastor Art's book's 500 pages. I don't have time to read that. It sure is. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, that's no way. Ooh, you guys ready for banner tomorrow? You gonna have fun? Yeah, boy. Ready for the dungeon? This is my dungeon. Sick, bro. Psych Prof, do you read a lot of Jordan Peterson? I think you do, maybe. Where did you get that from? I take it he reads a lot of Jordan Peterson, Psych Prof. A lot of Jordan Peterson. Damn, that's a good one. Thank you, Better Mike. You're welcome. Ooh, in the world. We. I think we're gonna. No, I get Shadowbound right. Play that. I guess stricken down, so I'll just be quiet. Uh-oh. Oh, the Housewives are on tomorrow. I'm gonna watch them. No, I can't watch that because it's sick. It's demonic. Oh well. Almost bad. Oh fuck, man. Uh-oh. No. He left me. Good on the hammer. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Chris Scott. Thank you, Melanie Spitzer. Thank you, Dr. Roger Hawkinson. Thank you all. Thank you, freedom fighters. Freedom. Oh. Thank you, Pastor Art. Thank you, Drew. Freedom. 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 Oh. Come on! Are you kidding me? Come on. Tori's on. Tori Queen Bee. Tori. No! Tori. Come here, Riz. Sick girl. We. Oh well. To the convoy.
I really appreciate what you and Chris have done, and so many other people as well, really taking it on the chin and suffering for the cause of truth and justice and freedom. So I'm just very grateful to you and to so many other people that have really suffered a great deal. And thank you.
We appreciate it, John. Even
When you ship fast, like really fast. Oh, shop same-day delivery on last-minute gifts at Canadian Tire.
I thought this for a long time.
Truth. Rabbi Schlanger is now dead, but his message of truth will echo throughout the ages.
Are you seeing a lot of parallels with what's happening in Australia and here in Canada as well?
Absolutely. I mean, it can happen right now, for all we know. It's devastating.